Welcome back to Zemer of the Week, Zao. I'm John Hornstein here with my co-host David Rosenwine. And David, we are recording here in Boston from the home office because we just got 5 to 9 inches in Boston spirit.
So the
How you
home
guys holding
office in
up?
this case would be your bed? Question mark.
Again, airing the dirty laundry that they can't see me, but yes,
Well,
the
I,
home
I
office.
can actually see your dirty laundry from the home office there. I can tell you that your mother would probably not be too proud.
Wow, where are the Google effects on that one, right?
But she would be happy to see you're separating the whites from the colors. That's nice.
She taught me well, David. I did have to call my mom roughly, every couple of hours freshman year in order to ask a different, home appliances or daily care related question freshman year of college. But somehow we survived and we made it here, and now I'm a fully functioning adult,
That's
kind
good.
of.
Myself, on the other hand, you'll remember all my pink clothes. I didn't buy them pink.
Well, we'll be sure to rock your pink wardrobe from Banana Republic or wherever the kids are buying their clothes these days. Um,
All right.
but
Let's
David,
segue.
we should probably move into the part where we talk about Zmirot. We
Yep.
are in episode 5 now of our Shabbat dinner theme, season 2,
Hard to believe.
and hard to believe. And last week we kicked off our Zemirot portion where we're all sitting around the table singing great Jewish songs. And we had a Sephardi rendition last week. And this week we're going to move back into traditional Ashkenaz Zemirot. And we have a very special guest to do so. David, I'm going to let you do the honors because you do it so.
Oh, that's a big honor and a curveball, but I'm happy to, John. We have a very special guest, Rebecca Blady, hailing from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York. Not sure where the comma would be in that situation, but she's calling from New York. I have, before I turn it over to Rebecca, I just must say that I don't think we've had a guest yet that has had so much zeal and excitement to be on the podcast. The homework, the special visits, which we'll hear about soon, and the due diligence she did on her part to prep for this episode truly amazed me and kind of inspired you and me, John, to prep. So Rebecca, welcome to Zao.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your praise. I don't think I even deserve it. I was just doing what I normally do.
This isn't a humility podcast here. It's a Zmiro podcast. Take
Oh.
it. You're welcome. Let's do it.
All right. We'll get to it.
John, what do you got for us?
Well, we set up this by giving everyone a teaser on surprise that Rebecca has for the listenership. So the overarching question that we wanted to ask this week is, how do Zemirot get passed down from generation to generation, Lador Lador? And Rebecca actually wanted to come on and sing a very special rendition of a song that her grandfather sings, and specifically her grandfather's favorite tune for it. And so the other question that we had was, what was Rebecca's grandfather's favorite tune for this song, and why was it his favorite tune? And instead of asking Rebecca to introduce the song, we're going to let her grandfather do it.
Hashtag curveball.
Do you want me to play it?
No, this part
Or
Jeff will
just
splice
like
in. Jeff
hypothetical
will splice
splice
in.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And Jeff, let's cut that part. Okay, good.
Thanks, Jeff.
Love you.
Wow, that was a...
So that was a great introduction. Wow, really cool, Rebecca, that you were able to go see your grandfather and have him do that. So I guess talk to us about the conversation that you had with him, and maybe just talking us through how the Zemer got passed down from, where did he learn it from, how it got passed down to you, the tune. Tell us the history.
So first of all, first thing that everyone should know is that my grandfather actually goes by a very special name of Zaidi. That's not Zaidi, that's Zaidi. And that is a name he chose because he is very fond of his own Zaidi, Zaidi Yehuda. And my Zaidi and his family were from Poland originally, from a town of Tomaszów. And they came to the States after the Holocaust. He and his wife, my grandma, are both survivors. And my Zaidi, when I asked him about this tune, said that he actually learned the song in America. And in fact, the only reason he even sings Yaribon when I asked him is because it comes after Kol Makadesh. That was the only answer he gave. He said every Friday night they just had an order of Zmirot that they sang. First Kol Makadesh and then Yaribon. And he doesn't even remember the tune to Kol Makadesh at this point, but maybe we can save that for another podcast. But he sings Yaribon every Friday night. And I don't know if you heard it in the recording, but you might have heard my grandma humming along because in their house, this is a tune that they just happen to be singing. And it also is a tune that I remember from when I was really, really young, mostly because in my parents' house, we didn't really sing Zmirot. So every time we would get together with my grandma and Zaidi for a holiday or for Shabbos, my Zaidi would always be the only one who would start singing. And so one of the first Zmirot that ever came into my head was Yaribon because he would just sing it, and I hadn't really heard any other tunes until he brought it into our house whenever he was there for Shabbos. So that's how I learned it.
So I think that's super interesting because we obviously had our version of Yaribon at school that I guess our crowd of boys had, and that was our favorite. I'm not sure how that developed, but it's just interesting that yours developed as your favorite because of your grandfather, and that was sort of the main way that you learn this tune and learn the Zmirot. Any particular insight into? I know like that that sort of order of the normal Zmirot that they sung was why he sung the song. Any particular reason like why you think he particularly liked Yaribon? Was it just the tune, or was there anything beyond that?
I think it's just habit. I don't know. I actually don't really have an insightful answer to that. All I got was that this is something that made his Shabbos Shabbos. It was just something that they sung every Friday night in a special order that made their Shabbos table a little more special, and something that he was able to pass on because it was so ingrained in his Shabbos experience.
Mm.
It's interesting though, because I think that your grandfather, or your account of your grandfather's reasoning of why he likes a song is actually it kind of mirrors what we're trying to do with Zemer of the Week. It sounds like Yaribon was something that brought the community of people at the table, the family, all together, and the reason for the tune, the reason for the song may not be all that important, but it was the song and the Shabbos that was like bringing everyone together, which I think is kind of cool and kind of mirrors what we're all about. So that's great.
So, David, this week has obviously been really, really cool because we've been able to sort of pass down a song from generation to generation. This week is also cool because, as Jeff mentioned at the front of this podcast, this Rebecca is an awesome Zemer enthusiast, and she is also a female, and so we are making obviously a renewed effort to sort of come back and really make women a vibrant part of this Zao community. And so I know that next week we wanted to raise sort of come back to a previous episode where we broached upon this theme, and we wanted to do that with Eshet Chayil. So we recorded this episode of Eshet Chayil, and it was a gorgeous episode where we talked a lot about, how do we, look at some of that language and appropriate it for modern day. And the question that we asked during that episode was, why do some people sing the song, and why do some people not? And so, next week what we wanted to do was, instead of teaching a new Zemer, we want to re-raise that question, and we wanted to ask a few more females and get a few more perspectives on that. And so we're really, really excited for that. I'm excited to throw a little bit of a curveball now to Blady. David was scared because he thought I was going to throw one at him.
As long as I stay away from curveballs, I'm a happy camper.
It's okay, I can handle it.
You're getting the miss. Rebecca, I'm curious to know, do you sing Eshet Chayil at your Shabbat table, and why or why not?
That's a good question. So I actually don't. And it's not even because I don't like Eshet Chayil. I actually think it's a beautiful Zemer. I think it adds this really kind of peaceful, melodic atmosphere before the meal. And I like it, but my fiance doesn't sing it. And I really respect that, because I think that he comes from a family where both spouses are seen as equal partners. And so singing a song that kind of, whatever your perspective on it, it can elevate one spouse, or it can kind of, point out one spouse in a way that's not welcome necessarily. I mean, I think the reason for not singing it in that case is because it creates this imbalance between the two. And I definitely see where he's coming from and where his family comes from. And, even with that, sometimes we do sing it because it is pretty and we do like it. But I also respect the fact that there's a tradition in working toward making sure that at the beginning of the meal we can balance everyone who's at the table without singling someone out, or without making you feel like somebody is noticed for something he or she may or may not have wanted to be noticed for.
What I love about that answer is that it's showing sort of equal commitment to this idea of like a partnership and equality from both sides of the relationship. And so I think that's pretty cool that to have sort of that equality and have that buy-in at the Shabbos table.
Yeah, I'm also down to sing it sometimes. I mean, here and there, we're happy to, because it's just a beautiful tune. So sometimes even just kind of singing it as a niggin, just without the words, that's also something that we do sometimes.
It's also nice that, I mean, there's truly a thoughtful answer there. It's not like we're hungry or the words are hard, but two people are equal. Let's not raise one over the other by singing a song that celebrates one. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing.
A little bit more thoughtful than your answer, David, of just wanting.
All right, John. All right, there you go. That's getting back at me for the laundry. I get it.
Getting back at the laundry, and I avoided you for the curveball, so I can take a shot.
Well, I just know I always have curveballs in my pocket too. There.
I'll be waiting for you next week. And so, Rebecca, thanks for participating on that curveball, and we're really excited to hear from some different perspectives on this question. As we dive a little bit more into this this phase of Zao, where we're really making and not phase in terms of like it's not gonna last, it's gonna last. For as long as Zao exists, but during this time in Zao,
eternity.
AKA eternity. This time in Zao, when we're making sort of a renewed effort to have female participation and a voice at this Zemirot table.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rebecca. This was an unbelievable story from your Zaidi, and just really enjoyed chatting with you.
It's Zaidi. You have to get past Yiddish pronunciation, man. Come on.
From Zaidi Yehuda.
Zaidi. Well, my Zaidi is Zaidi Leo, and his Zaidi is Zaidi Yehuda.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and sharing some of your stories of your family and your traditions.
Of course. Thank you guys. And thanks for all you do.
All
Thank
right.
you, and thank you very much, everyone, for listening, tuning in. Stay tuned, keep listening, and have a great week, everybody.
Bye bye.